Okay, group, this is our 10.5 practice. We're doing volume of spheres. Number 1 says find the volume of a standard tennis ball and round to the nearest tenth. So the volume of a sphere has the general formula 4/3 times pi r cubed. Okay, the volume of a sphere. So if we apply that here to our tennis ball, it would be 4/3 pi, and then since our diameter is 68, we would divide that by 2. Oops. And that would give us a radius of 34. So we'd have 4/3 pi times 34 cubed. It says round to the nearest tenth, so that means we're going to put the whole thing in our calculator. So 4/3 pi times 34 to the third power. And so it looks like we get about 164,636.2 millimeters cubed, rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, number 2, it says find the volume of a hemisphere. A hemisphere is half of a sphere, so whatever answer we get, we're going to need to divide by 2, and we're leaving this in terms of pi. So if the diameter is 12, that means the radius will be 6. So if we fill in our 4/3 pi r cubed, that's what we would have. To leave it in terms of pi, we'd do 4/3 times 6 cubed. Oops. And that would get us 288 pi. Now we would divide that by 2 because it's a hemisphere. So that would leave us with 144 pi, and it's in inches, so inches cubed. Okay, number 3. A ball has a circumference of 24 centimeters. Find the volume and round to the nearest tenth. So on this one, a circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So this is going to help us find the radius since we weren't given that. So we're looking to solve for our radius here. So we're going to fill in 24 for the circumference. Okay, and so to solve for r, we can divide both sides by 2 pi. So that leaves us with 12 pi for our radius. Now, we're going to go ahead and put that in our calculator to get the decimal, which would be 37.7 if we round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so now that we have that, we can do our volume. Okay, so we'll have 4/3 times pi times our radius that we found, and cubed, of course. So our volume here is 224,446.4, and our measurement was in centimeters. So centimeters cubed for our volume. Okay, number 4. Find the volume of each. So here this is a hemisphere. So this is going to be a half of a sphere. So we will end up dividing by 2. Here this shows the radius is 15, so we don't have to do anything with that. We can put that right into our volume formula. Okay. So we end up with 14,137 point. Oh, sorry, it says to leave it in terms of pi. Disregard that. We'll leave it in terms of pi. So sorry. 4/3 times 15 cubed. That gets us 4,500 pi. And then we have to divide that by 2, of course. So that is 2,250. Oops. Pi, and this is in inches cubed. Okay, letter B. It looks like here our diameter is 18, so our radius will be 9. Four thirds times 9 cubed is 972. And of course we're leaving it in terms of pi, and this was inches cubed. And last, this is in yards. It's just showing that it's a radius of 3, so we don't have to change anything about that. So this will leave us with 36 pi, and this is in yards